On that fateful day, when I learned of my wife's infidelity, it was as if the world had fallen out from under my feet. The pain cut through me like a knife. The worst part was knowing that she saw that man every day at work because he worked in a neighboring department. But for the sake of our son, I decided to forgive her. I hoped we could forget the whole thing. Recently, however, things turned upside down. My wife announced that she was pregnant. The joy of the impending addition was overshadowed by doubts. I couldn't shake the thought that the child might not be mine. Days turned into nights full of sleeplessness and agonizing thoughts. I began to notice strange behavior in my wife. She avoided my gaze, often delayed at work and became irritable. Unable to bear it, I decided to talk to her. With a tremor in my voice, I asked her about my doubts. At first she locked herself away, but then, unable to withstand my pressure, she confessed. The baby is probably not mine. I felt like I was being cut to pieces inside again. I was devastated and broken. I couldn't understand how the person I loved could betray me in such a way. Now I'm at a crossroads. Should I forgive her again, force her to have an abortion or keep the baby? Or end our marriage altogether? For my son's sake, I'd do anything, but I can't live with the constant doubt and pain. And I can't ignore his mother's betrayal. I must find the strength to make a decision. The story of a man who finds out his wife cheated on him, and took revenge in such a way that she will not forget it for a long time, and neither will her family. How did it start? We'd been married about 3 years. We had no children. We had a good life, we loved each other. But, something changed overnight. She started texting someone a lot. When I'd ask who she was texting with, she'd say her mom. When she'd come in late, she'd always say she'd been held up at work. I asked her coworkers. They told me they didn't get held up. And one time she went to the store and came back in the morning. My advice to you, if you suspect your other half, do not spare the money and hire a detective. You'll need him as a lawyer later. She was supposed to have a birthday party in 2 months. I had a surprise for her. You ask me why I waited so long. I was gathering evidence and looking for an apartment. I asked my wife what she wanted for her birthday. She was stonewalling. Said she didn't want to be reminded of her aging. And that I should go about my business. I knew she was planning something. I had a surprise for her. I called her friends, her sister and her parents. And I told her that we'd make her happy. We'd come over secretly and congratulate her. So we did. Parents with cake. With noisemakers. We went up to the apartment. We went to the bedroom and opened the door. And what did we see? My wife was in the doggy pose with her lover. My wife's mom dropped the cake, my dad felt bad. And her friends started to quickly kick us out of the room. My ex-lover didn't apologize, but swore loudly. At my parents for showing up unannounced. At my sister for not telling me about the surprise. And at me for breaking up with the guy. It was a circus. And I stood there silent and didn't know what was going on. And I loved that woman. I have no regrets. There you go.